Hi, today is Monday, October 26th, and today in math, we're going to be focusing on telling time. So, when we're thinking about telling time, time is an important part of our lives. We have to get up at a certain time, we go to Zooms at different times throughout the day. Time is really important. Here is a clock. This is kind of a special clock. It's a clock that teachers use to help students learn about time. So think right now, what are some things you already know about telling time? Something I already know is that there are hours in the day. I know that there's morning and night. I also know that there's 60 minutes in an hour. So we know some things about time already. What we're going to think about is what do we notice about this clock right here? Hmm, this clock is pretty interesting, right? You might have a clock like this at your house, or you might not. You might just have a digital clock. Some things I notice about this clock is that there is a blue hand and a red hand. So we have a blue hand right here and then a red hand. I notice that the blue hand's shorter than the red hand. The next thing I notice is the blue numbers. Look and see how many blue numbers are there on this clock. The answer is 12. There are 12 numbers. Those represent hours. Okay, so now we know the blue numbers represent the hours on our clock. So blue is, what does the blue stand for again? Those are our hours. Now I notice that there are red numbers. What do the red numbers represent? Think about that. What do you think? What do the red numbers represent? I hope you guessed minutes. The red represents minutes. So I see that it counts. I only have them counting by 5. So it goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So that kind of tells me that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So think right now, there are 60 minutes. That is equal to 1 hour. 60 minutes is 1 hour. So now what we're going to do is we are going to look at some different clocks. So if you look over here, the smaller clock on this screen, this has lines for every 5 minutes. So you can think about it like that. Every 5 minutes is that. Remember, the big numbers on the inside of the clock represent the hours. So when I look at this clock right here, I notice that there aren't little numbers representing the minutes, but there is a line that's darker right here. So you can kind of tell when it hits that number, it's counting by 5s, remember. I could count by 1s too if I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but that takes so long. So we usually count by 5s. So 5, 10, 15, 20, it goes on like that. Something about clocks is they work together. So the hour hand is the short hand and the minute hand is the long. So if I move my minute hand on 1, this time would be 12:05 because my hour hand is pointing to the 12 and my minute hand is on the 5-minute marker. So this is 12:05. That's our first time we're going to look at. We're going to look at a couple others. So watch as I keep moving. I'm going to move the minute hand. It brings my clock to the 1 because that means 60 minutes have passed. That's an hour. Now we're at 2 p.m. Now we're at 3 p.m. Now we're at 4. So that's kind of how our clock goes around and around. Every 60 minutes is 1 hour.